My name is Ogbonna Onyinyechukwu. I am an energy systems engineer, a self-taught entrepreneur, and the founder of Sohae Finance, a renewable energy investment platform on the Web3 decentralized web. I am also streaming my entire journey building this company on Twitch every day, learning to code as I go with no prior programming experience.
Chapter 1. Becoming a Web3 entrepreneur in renewable energy.
Back in 2023, I started Sohae Finance, a loan origination platform to bridge the credit gap in Africa. Inspired by accessibility of the US credit system, I wanted to make credit available for everyone, especially in underserved communities, but I hit a wall. No programming skills, no developers willing to join me, and rejections from incubators because I didn't have the right credentials. I was still a student, finishing school with no job, no funds. That's when I pivoted. I saw the potential of Web3 to fund renewable energy like solar transparently. I'm not your typical tech founder, right? I'm resilient, I'm determined, and a bit stubborn actually. But I'm not afraid to learn. People think you need a computer science degree or millions to build in Web3. That's a misconception. It's about solving real problems, like energy access in Africa. Unlike traditional finance, Web3 is about decentralization, community, trust, and transparency, which aligns with my vision. I'm starting my Twitch journey now to share this scary, exciting process, showing the world that anyone can chase a big dream, even if you're starting from zero. You don't need fancy degrees to do it. You just need AI.
Chapter 2. Understanding the language of decentralized renewable finance.
Sohae Finance is about using Web3 to fund renewable energy projects. But let me break it down. I started with loan origination where borrowers connect to lenders, but shifted to a platform where solar developers post projects in underserved African regions and get funded by communities and local or global investors via blockchain. Think about it like crowdfunding. Assets include crypto wallets, tokenized renewable projects, or electricity generated rewards. Liabilities are things like gas fees on Ethereum, community equity is a value token holders gain. Okay? Like coins tied to electricity sold on the grid, let's say they're worth $1 each. There are four key elements in my platform: income from green yields, like dividends from solar energy, balance of tokenized assets, like diversified renewable portfolios, cash flows through liquidity pools or trading energy credits, and retained value. Long-term growth for community investments. Unlike traditional finance, where revenue waits for cash, Web3 recognizes value when transactions hit the blockchain. Investments can be direct staking, pooled funds, tokenized assets, each with different reward timings. For example, when a solar project generates electricity, investors earn tokens, not just when cash is paid. This matters because transparency builds trust, and trust drives funding for African renewable energy, impacting communities directly.
Chapter 3. Ethics, Trust, and Building a Loan in Web3.
In Web3, trust is everything. As a founder, I am responsible for Sohae Finance's vision, and my upcoming Twitch streams will show every step, ensuring investors know their funds are safe. But it's tough. I faced rejections from crypto firms, incubators, and even jobs at African companies because I lacked tech skills or a degree. I tried hiring programmers, but without funds, no one joined. I started a digital agency called Nexus Biz to manage social media and build e-commerce stores for African businesses just to make ends meet. It wasn't enough to pay the developers. It was never enough to pay the developers. But last November, I discovered AI coding tools that changed everything. I taught myself to write smart contracts and build e-commerce prototypes, preparing me to tackle Sohae Finance. The Web3 space has a talent crisis. Non-technical founders like me face steep learning curves and skepticism. Long hours, no mentors, a hacker-heavy culture make it daunting. Media doesn't showcase stories like mine. You hear about tech mongols, no bootstrappers in Africa, but I'm using AI to code. Community feedback from Twitch is going to keep me going. Without programmers, I am the mechanic of my platform, ensuring every single transaction is transparent. If I fail, projects like mine stall and communities lose out. I'm pushing Web3 as a skill set anyone can learn, especially for impactful fields like renewables. And AI is helping me achieve this goal. I can focus on the bigger picture and not the little details. Funding in solar for Africa is on the rise.
Chapter 4, better understanding the fears and failures along the way.
Building Sohae Finance has been a roller coaster, inspired by my own stumbles. In 2023, I launched Sohae as a loan platform, but without coding skills or a team. It stalled. I tried Origination Hub, a loan origination software, but hit the same wall. No programmers, no funds. I was a student, broke, jobless, unemployed, rejected even by African companies. To survive, I started Nexus Biz, a digital agency, but small earnings couldn't fund my dream. Failures in startups are universal. Time, money, confidence, I call it the failure triangle. Opportunity from bold ideas like using Web3 for renewables, rationalization, telling myself it's just a pivot, and pressure, needing income while finishing school. People think solo ventures are low risk, but the emotional toll is real. Loneliness, doubt, fear of failing publicly. Once I start streaming on Twitch, I've faced intentional barriers like incubators demanding credentials I didn't have.
Chapter 5, inspiring audiences and building community support.
My journey is about more than me. It's about people and communities I'm fighting for. There are two types of stakeholders: project beneficiaries, like underserved African regions needing solar funding, vulnerable because of systemic gaps. Look at cases like FTX, bad culture with no transparency, crushed trust. I'm building differently, planning to show every line of code. I tell my audience, build a resilient fund through side gigs like my Nexus Biz to stay independent when doubt hits. Obstacles aren't if, but when I've faced obstacles and rejections, loneliness and fear of failing publicly. But I'm honest about my limits. Coding scares me, but I'm learning daily. I asked my viewers, what would you do if you saw a chance to change lives but had no skills? Would you quit? I didn't. Join me on Twitch as I start my journey. Help me build Sohae Finance. Let's fund renewables together while evolving e-commerce gaps with Nexus Biz. This is our village. This is our family. Let's make it thrive.
Want to support the channel? Join the OGB family by subscribing to Real Some OGB on YouTube, follow on Twitch and other socials to not miss the entire journey, and watch ad-free.